First tonight, former residents of a Nottingham children's home have been telling the child abuse inquiry how they were raped by staff looking after them. They've been given their first-hand accounts of what happened at Beechwood and why abusers got away with it.
Well, today the inquiry also heard Nottinghamshire Police make a public apology to survivors. Our social affairs correspondent Jeremy Ball is watching this week's hearings at Trent Bridge, and a warning that some of what you'll hear could well be distressing. Jeremy.
Huge emotion at the inquiry today as 3 victims in their 50s relived the most terrible abuse. You're going to hear their voices, but we didn't see their faces. I watched other survivors applaud them, some in floods of tears. They were all talking about what happened here at the Beechwood Children's Home. One man described how he bottled it up for decades and how it all came flooding back when a policeman called him out of the blue.
The tears what came that day, they must have been there for all my life. And I answered him. I told him yes, I was in Beechwood in 1977. For years I blamed myself. I encouraged him. I was stood there in the cold, damp cellar, laundry room. He spun me round, put me over that table, and he raped me.
The 3 victims were led through their evidence by the inquiry's barrister. One woman told him she still has flashbacks. She's had to explain to neighbours why she wakes up screaming at night. And she said that she'd been groomed by a residential worker.
He did come up to the dormitory in the middle of the night. This was the first occasion that I woke up with him on top of me, and he got his mouth over my mouth and just says, "I'm not going to hurt you." I was just rigid and I was really, really scared.
Another woman described how she was repeatedly raped at Beechwood by another worker when she was only 11 years old. And she said other staff knew what was happening.
The hugging was always like a prelude kind of thing. And then in your room, and you get visitors from them, they're always sort of like very nice and friendly and understanding, but then their hands would stray. You didn't go in the common room to watch TV. They'd bring the blankets with them, and underneath the blankets, they did used to get sexual with you.
Today we also heard from the City and County Councils. Both repeated their public apologies. The City accepted that its original one didn't go far enough. And there was also a new apology from Nottinghamshire Police.
Where the inactions or actions of the police have in any way exacerbated or prolonged the pain suffered by any complainant, the Chief Constable would like to apologise sincerely and deeply on behalf of Nottinghamshire Police. It is clear that these allegations and the convictions that have followed are, as was said by Mr. Simblett yesterday, only the small tip of a very large iceberg.
The police and councils all said things have changed since most of this abuse took place, but they've made it clear they're still determined to learn the lessons from this public inquiry.